Hi, everyone. Welcome today to our webinar. I'm Brett Pickert. I'm the Product Marketing Manager here at Comply by SEMrush, and I'd like to thank PMA for having me today. I'm going to talk about the ROI of Battlecards and how to figure out if they're working for your organization. So we'll give a little background on myself. Like I said earlier, I'm a Product Marketing Manager here for Comply by SEMrush. I've been in product marketing for a little over 4 years. I've been in marketing total for over 10. And I have an awesome Dotson named Cece. She's amazing. I absolutely love her to death. Now, before we dive in to trying to figure out, do my battle cards work? Are they effective? Let's first talk about what is a battle card. Some of you are just starting up your battle card programs. Some of you may have just heard of a battle card a couple of months ago for the new year. It's because people are sales brought up to like, hey, we need battle cards. You don't really know what they are, but here's a little snippet on what a battle card is. It's a cheat sheet used to help sales close deals. They're usually a document or slide. Battle cards usually include competitor information, value props, and messaging. On the right, you can actually see an example of what a battle card looks like in the Comply tool. Shooting our own horn here, but you can see that there's listed objections, positioning statements, why we win, how they win, key strengths, key weaknesses. You include other things such as pricing overview and so forth. Next is, what is a good battle card? They're usually short, have concise insights. You can see right there on the right. I mean, there's no more than 6 to 7 words per statement on there. They're frequently updated. You don't want to have a competitive analysis or a market analysis once a quarter like some companies do, because the market's always changing. Competitors are always changing. Competitors always are moving out updates. If everything was on a schedule, then life would be too easy. But unfortunately, it's not. Another thing too, what makes a great battle card is they're easily shared. So you want to put in like Slack channels, share drives, email. You want to be able to share it that way. So keep it short, concise, smaller file sizes if you're sharing it through email or sharing it as an attachment. What are the different types of battle cards? Now there's over 10 different kinds of battle cards that you can create. These are the 3 most popular ones. The first one is most popular, is competitor based. They usually give you a high level overview of the competitor. They say where you win, where they win, differentiators between features, also top talking points that are usually brought about from your customers or opportunities when combating those competitors. Next is objection handling. These usually list out most common objections and how to overcome them. They may not be competitor specific. They could be vertical specific. They could be user specific as well. So you can have those objections handled and given the sales reps talking points to overcome them. Like I said, they're usually organized based on different topics, prices, functionality of the product. And speaking of product, next one is a product battle card. So this is usually a deeper dive than the competitor-based battle cards. Usually go feature by feature, going through the value props of each feature of your product compared to theirs, the use case of each of your features, and usually having customer testimonials as well, based on those features that you can bring about. And so it's usually just a deeper dive into the specific product needs and product uses of your offering. Now, what we've seen from successful battle card programs we've seen that win rates usually increase up to 30%. An informed sales organization leads to more wins. So the more informed the sales team is, the better they're able to handle objections, the less calls they need to close deals. So that makes shorter sales cycles, hopefully bigger increased revenue per deal, and more importantly, higher win rates. 3 of the 4 organizations that we've seen that use battle cards have seen increased win rates and revenue. And so in addition to increasing win rates, they've seen higher, bigger deal sizes. Next is the most interesting or another eye-opening number is we've seen that organizations usually have 20 or more battle cards on average. They usually have about 3 battle cards per competitor. Going back to our top 3 battle card formats that we just spoke about, that's usually how they have a limit listed out. They have one for competitor overviews, one how to handle objections, and one for product specific. And it's funny because those 3 usually line up with normal sales cycles. Like you have your competitor specific, usually for your first or second call, your objection handling for the first or second call, and then the product specific is usually for the final call that you're going to have for those product specific questions. Next is, what are the steps you need to take to create a successful battle card program? First step, create battle cards with short and concise information, relatable, easy to digest. Easy to digest means use language that relates to the sales reps, ones that they would understand and use. 2, distribute directly to the sales organization, whether it's Slack, email, Microsoft Teams, etc. That way, there's no excuse for sales not to see that kind of information, and you're doing your part to putting it right in front of them. 3, analyze your program. That's one of the most important steps because you're not going to know how your program's doing unless you have numbers to back it up. Look at things like adoption percentage. That's going to be like how your sales team is looking at your battle cards, how often they're shared, the views of each battle card. We'll go more into that later. Look at the win-loss percentage of your sales metrics before and after introducing those battle cards. And then another thing is sales feedback. So getting feedback from sales. Do they like your battle cards? Do they like you? Do they do they find the information important or pertinent to their conversations? Do they like the way that they're accessing it right now? Is there a better way for them to access it? And so forth. And then the final step, but it's a continuous step, is to optimize your battle card program. So it's going to be you looking at the metrics and going back and forth with sales and taking that feedback, taking those metrics, and then changing either your battle cards, introducing new battle cards. Who knows, a new competitor might came into the market, or maybe a competitor left the market. You can see that through the views of that battle card. And you can ask the sales really, hey, example, this competitor battle card has been viewed less and less often. Are they coming up in sales calls? And the sales leader says, no, they haven't. They might have. So that's one less battle card you might have to worry about. So that's a way to optimize your program. So you can focus on newer battle cards. Also, too, if you wonder what that link is at the bottom, that is a link to a free battle card template directly from Compite. So you can create your own battle cards at home. So the link is bit.ly/PMA-sales-battlecards. So there you can download a free battle card template and create your own battle cards. Now, what are some common pain points when it comes to creating a battle card program? First one is sales won't use my battle cards. Or a sales leader comes up to you and be like, I need to increase my win rates and our deal sizes for our team. Third and final pain point is, how do I know if my battle cards are effective? So I'm going to teach you how to overcome all of these pain points. First, I'm going to talk about sales. Why doesn't sales use battle cards? First one is it's all about the money. That's all they really see. It's not their fault. That's just the environment they're in. I wish it was all sunshine and rainbows, but it isn't. So you got to put in information that's related to them and show them the value. And I'll talk a little more about that in the final point. Second is outdated information. You already have battle cards and it's a new year. So your manager probably came and said, like, hey, let's try this battle card thing again. And then you ask the sales team, and they're like, yeah, man, like I tried using these battle cards, but they haven't been updated since like 2020. And so they don't really trust the program. So you got to bring them that fresh new information so they can actually earn trust, or actually earn their trust to keep looking at those battle cards. Excuse me. Three is they're not easily accessible. Let's say you're a new PMM or a new sales enablement manager, and half the sales team is new. So the old guard has access to a battle card stack. The new one doesn't. So it tells me it's not easily accessible. Maybe that old stack was in a shared folder of the previous PMM that knows that's no longer with the company, or it's in a shared drive that's somewhere else, that's hidden, that's just hard for the new reps to access. So you got to make it a way to where it's easily accessible. Fourth is no buy-in from the sales director or the team. Now, this is huge because if you go and introduce something new to your sales reps and your sales leader isn't in on it or doesn't approve of it, that's just going to be more trouble for you. So you got to get the buy-in from the sales director, and you got to tell them, hey, I want to introduce this Battlecard program. This is what I think it will do. These are the proposed, these are what I think, these are whether I predict how I predict this program to perform, and get that buy from sales rep. Remember, going back to point one, it's all about the money. Sales reps do well, sales director does well. Everybody's happy. Last one is reps don't see the value. They rely on past success. Maybe you have a really successful sales team that is winning deals and they're hitting attainment, exceeding quota. But the thing is, though, sales may not admit it, but they're losing deals. They don't want to admit it. And what's one thing that makes a sales rep happier? More deals won. So even if they're, losing maybe 3 of every 10 deals, those battle cards can help them win one more deal out of that 3. No sales rep's going to say no to that. So show them the value of it. And if they say that I already know this, test their knowledge. Just be like, hey, did you know competitor A introduced this last week? And be like, what? How do you know this? And that shows that builds the intrigue in them, and it shows that you have their best interests in mind. So you want them to win, you want them to be happy, and ultimately, sales success equals company success. It's one happy cycle. Now, how do you increase that sales adoption? One, make it really easy for them to access it. Put it right in front of them. Sales isn't going to go out of their way at first to access your battle cards. They're not. So you got to put it either in Slack, Salesforce, HubSpot. With Slack, you can make your own Slack channel to upload it to. Salesforce, you can put it directly into a folder. Same with HubSpot. All CRMs that I know of have a folder where you can put in sales resources in there to have them access it. If you have a tool like Compite, you can embed directly into a CRM. There's integrations with Salesforce and HubSpot. That's another shameless plug. I'm sorry, but that way you have the battle cards there directly for them to access. Number 2, get them involved. You can set up, when going back to the Slack channel reference or example, there you can have it where they could start a thread on the battle card or empower them, show them that you're listening, because what they're hearing on sales calls is faster in real time than anything you can gather searching the internet. Like even if you're on Twitter or LinkedIn all day. So once they hear that sales conversation, they can bring it to you. and you can understand from those sales conversations, because not everything is posted on the internet. And those sales conversations are invaluable. So if you empower them to let you know, and you're showing that you're listening, they're going to keep feeding you those insights. So you can understand things like discounts that your competitors are doing. You can understand newer features that a competitor told a potential customer that you don't know about. So not only is it invaluable to the sales team, it's invaluable to you as a PMM, and you just keep building on that cycle. Number 3, showing the value. Using battle cards equals higher commissions. It's simple. Show them that they're going to win more deals. Show them they're going to hit higher attainment. Show them they're going to get paid more. It's dollar signs that they're leaving on the table. Like I said in the example earlier, you have a 70% close rate, that's 30% you can fill up. I mean, there's always room for opportunity there. Now we get into the fun part of this. How do I find out if my battle cards are effective? Now, there's 2 different routes to go here. The first one involves Compite, but is a automated CI and sales enablement tool. CI is competitive intelligence. So tools like Compite can integrate with CRM such as Salesforce, pull in your sales data, build out win-loss analysis report. Additionally, you can see who's looking at your battle cards and compare that with your win-loss analysis. So you can go down the table, you can call out the reps easily, be like, hey man, like maybe the reason why you're only winning 40% of your deals is because you're not looking at battle cards. But since you're here, you most likely don't have a tool like Compite. So we go to the other route. We got CRMs, shared drives, and spreadsheets. Everyone's favorite kind of tools, right? So Salesforce and HubSpot, other CRMs will have the sales data that you can download with metrics such as win rates, which deals were competitive, deal size, etc. Next are the shared drives, such as Google. They actually have limited metrics you can look at, so you can see the number of views your battle card is getting. You can even see the number of shares as well. But the reason why that data is limited, you can't see specifically who's looking at it, but you can see the number of views, which gives you like a decent enough gauge of how your battle card's getting adopted. Also, too, with shares, for Google Slides, for example, if I were to share this with one of you, I would only get one unique share per person. So if I were to share it twice with somebody, it only counts as one share. Next is everyone's best friend. You get to input all that data into a spreadsheet, and then you get to figure out your ROI. So going back to that first example that I talked about using a tool like Compite, here's an example of what it would look like in there. So you can see your win rate not using battle cards. You can see using battle cards is higher than without it. The middle, you see the deal size not using battle cards. On the left, you see the deal size is bigger. On the right, without battle cards, it's a lot smaller. So you're leaving like 100K on the table there. On the right, the sales cycle. Using battle cards is almost 2 weeks less of a sales cycle, or 2 weeks shorter of a sales cycle compared to the right without battle cards. That's insane. So if you can tell a sales rep that, hey, with these battle cards, you're actually closing deals faster, they'll eat that up like crazy. They'll be like, yeah, give me more deals, faster deals, because what's better than closing deals? Closing deals quicker. Now, what are the steps you need to take to measure the ROI of your battle cards? So first things first, you need access to your sales metrics. So you got to ask your sales leaders, hey, I need access here to the CRM. So I can see the revenue, deals won versus deals lost. That'll be your win rate. You can also see how competitive the deals are. I have an asterisk here because there may be some data integrity issues. That's mainly because of things such as either sales reps forgetting to put competitors in if a competitor comes up with a conversation, or if a prospect says, hey, I'm talking to your competitors, and I'm evaluating you versus them, but they don't say the name of the competitor. So then the sales rep will probably not put that information in. So, but I'll show you workarounds around that to figure that out. Next is you got to keep track of the time frame you introduced your battle cards and compare that with the previous period. Usually what I'd like to do is I usually like to start at a beginning of a quarter, mainly because you don't have, say if you were to introduce at the end of a quarter, the sales rep isn't really going to adopt it because they're trying to pack their numbers already, and they're already stressed out as it is trying to hit in a quarter numbers. So try at the beginning of a quarter, and then you want to compare that quarter versus the previous one. And the third step is your continuous growth of your battle card program. So you're going to compare battle card period versus previous period. So the first period you introduce your battle cards versus the second period. And then you're going to look at things such as win rates again, average deal sizes, but you're also going to look at other metrics too, such as number of shares, number of battle card views, and so forth, so you know what to look for when it comes to optimization. So now, this is how you go about increasing win rates and revenue, and how to show off your ROI of your battle card program. So the very first period, I'm going to call it PBC. So that's pre-battle cards. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some simple metrics. We're going to take total number of competitive opportunities over total number of deals closed won. That's going to equal your win rate. Now, if you don't have competitive opportunities in your CRM and you have lead scoring, just use SQLs. It's almost identical when it comes to figuring it out, your ROI. So it's close enough. It's not exactly 100%, but it's pretty darn close. Next is average revenue per deal. So either looking at ARR or MRR. So you want to look at those. Period 2, ABC, after battle cards. So this is going to be the first period that you've introduced battle cards. So you're going to take the same number of metrics, put them side by side, so you can have that apples to apples comparison. Now the next slide, I'm going to plug in some numbers. These are made up. Don't get mad at me, but I just did just to make it easier on me for math purposes. So say in period 1, the total number of competitive opportunities was 100. Your company won 30 of those deals. That's a 30% win rate. The average MRR per deal, so monthly recurring revenue, ARR is annual recurring revenue. This just depends on your company, how it's set up. We use MRR, so average MRR per deal is $1,000. Period 2, you didn't have as many competitive opportunities, but you had the same number of deals won. So your win rate went up, even though you closed the same number of deals. But then you also notice too, your average MRR per deal is $1,250. So that's an extra $250 MRR per deal. So on the right, you have the ROI of your battle card program so far. You've shown the win rate increased by 7.5 percentage points. Your MRR increased by 250 or 25%. Sorry, average MRR increased. So the total new MRR is 7,500. So you just do 30 times the difference of the average. And so I include MRR and then also total new MRR, because sometimes sales leaders want to see that, and they like to see not only how many numbers they're getting per deal, but also the total number for the quarter. So this is broken down month by month, showing quarter over quarter. So as you see on the top row, I have the number of competitive opportunities and have it broken down by month. Same number of closed wins. Just steady 10 across the board because I wanted my math to be easy. Next is the win rate percentage for each month. So you can show that because, sales leaders, they want to see it broken down as as granular as possible. So this way you can bring it to them. And if they're a visual learner, this method is better. Average MRR. So you can see here, it's first period, 1,000 per month, second period, 1,250 per month. And then you got the total MRR at the bottom. So on the right-hand side, you have the differences. So you show the competitive opportunities. So you can show that, hey, like we had less competitive opportunities, but if you go down below, we increase our win rate by 7.5 percentage points. We increase each deal by 250. And then the total new MRR for the quarter was 7,500. Show that to them. So that shows that, you know, if you have annual deals, you just multiply that 7,500 by 12, or they sign 2-year deals, whatever, you know. This is just a baseline to get you started on your ROI of your program, because overall, this is great. Like, you're earning your company an extra $7,500 a month. Say if that's your salary, you just showed your worth. So you just, you know, just show like you're valuable to the company. Next is, these are going to be additional metrics to add to your program as you move along. So you've introduced your battle cards. Now you want to see, okay, so how is my battle card program progressing beyond that quarter? So you take that first quarter, that period 2. You have that total number of competitive opportunities for over total number of deals closed 1 for your win rate. You bring in the average revenue per deal, but now you bring in the metrics of number of battle card views and number of battle card shares. This is important. You want to show the number of views because you want to show that the sales reps are looking at your cards or your battle cards. Because if you don't have this number available, then sales reps are going to be like, sales reps are going to be like, yeah, we don't need it. We're good enough. You need to be able to speak up for yourself, show your confidence in your program. And this is how you're going to do it with these metrics. Same with number of battle card shares. This is important because this saves your back, because the shares number should equal the number of sales reps that you're sharing it with. So you have a sales team of 100, you should have hypothetically 100 battle card shares. So now here are those metrics with numbers added in. So we had that same numbers from before and from that period 2. And you see that battle cards were viewed 25 times, battle card shares shared 50 times because you have a sales team of 50. Period 3, win rate went up again. You had the same number of competitive opportunities, but sales team ended up winning more deals. And you also see the average MRR per new deal went up another $150 to $1,400. Now, you saw battle card views increase. So now you can contribute that number to the increased win rate and the increased average monthly recurring revenue. And then, of course, 50 battle card shares stayed the same. You probably introduce a new battle card, maybe, or so forth. So on the right, you see the ROI of the battle card program. The win rate increased by 10 percentage points. Average new MRR increased by $150 or 12%. Total new MRR is 5,700. You have a 60% increase in views. Shares stay the same. That's common. And yeah, and then here is like a more visual presentation of that. Same thing as earlier. Create opportunities at top, close wins, win rate. Now you have the battle card views and the battle card shares. You can see here, there's 0% for the battle card shares period over period, but then you also have that 60% increased views. And then you have the average MRR down there, and then the total new MRR. So what you can make here is, the same thing you can make here is that the more times your battle cards are viewed, the more deals you're going to win, and the bigger deals you're going to win. And that's how you show the value of your battle card program, is through these metrics right here, because these are the ones that the sales team is going to care about. This is the one that is going to show the value of your position, your role, your program overall, and it's going to help you become a better PMM, and then also to create better battle cards in the future as well, because the number of views, for example, say if it were to go down, and you can find out through sales, hey, March, viewing my battle cards, and they can say it back to you because you have empowered them with that Slack channel. They can say, oh yeah, we found out that that battle card information was outdated, or that battle card just that competitor left the market, or we're just not hearing about that competitor anymore. So that gives you more insight to that, and able to work on different battle cards and introduce those to the team, because maybe there's another competitor that's coming up, and that's why they're not looking at those battle cards. So okay, that's how you optimize your program, and that's how you move forward. Now, how do you build upon that success? You got to team up with your sales leaders again, because say if you have underperforming reps, work with your sales leaders to connect you with them. See where their struggles are. Are they accessing battle cards? Are they understanding the content, etc.? And maybe there may be a disconnect with them in understanding their market and the training. And then you work with them to build on the action plans, because you want them to not only adopt your battle cards, but you also want them to be successful with your battle cards, because you see before your program has been performing pretty well, but then you have some underperforming reps. You don't want reps left behind, because the battle cards are for everyone. They're not just for the top reps, they're for all the reps. And so with those action plans, say for example, on each call, have the battle card open. Then ask them, hey, each call, submit an insight that you learned from there. Whether it's about a competitor, whether it's about objection handling, just ask them to, whatever comment from the prospect pops in their mind, get them to submit that to the Slack channel. There, you can build more battle cards, higher success rates, higher win rates, increase revenue, and so forth, because the market's always changing, products are always changing. You're gonna have downward swings, you're gonna have upward swings in regards to numbers, but this is how you're gonna optimize, and this is how you're gonna keep your battle card staying successful. And that's it. I just want to thank you from Compi by SEMrush. My name is Brett Picker. I'm the product marketing manager here. That's my LinkedIn at the bottom. So feel free to connect with me. I'm happy that you joined today. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Thank you. Have a good day.